Hello beautiful people, my name is Yola and welcome to my YouTube channel. I haven't been here in about 4 months, but I am back and I'm so ready to dive in. So this segment is going to be called Dear Self, because I realized that when I would create videos and I'd have all these messages that I wanted to share to help people, a lot of the messages that I had that I wanted to share to help people is stuff that I learned that helped me, that I was hoping would help other people. So that's the segment that I'm going to be starting, because I am on my self-development journey, self-improvement journey. I've been on it for a very long time, but recently I've started to see things from a new perspective, and I've started to understand the fact that I learn and grow every single day. Every single day. And it's not just one thing every single day, it's multiple things. Sometimes I remember something that I've already learned, but I learned it in a new way, so now it sticks with me better. And it's just so much, and I need somewhere to put it all. So I'm gonna just be recording daily and just uploading what I have to say, what's on my mind, what is going on, because it's becoming overwhelming. So a little while ago, and today is January 28th, I believe. So a little while ago, I watched this girl's video because my timeline on YouTube loaded, and every day there's something new being recommended to me. And there was this girl's video who popped up on my feed a couple days ago, but the title of her video was Time Doesn't Exist. And at the time, there were so many other videos that I wanted to watch before her, so I did. And then her video wasn't on my timeline, so I forgot about it, but it popped up today. And today I was just taking my hair out. So in that process of taking my hair out, I needed something to watch. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that title, let me click on it. I'm so thankful to that girl. Literally, I wanted to look up her name, but the truth is, it's not that important. I think if you literally type in Time Doesn't Exist, you will see her video. And she basically was talking about manifestation. Now, no one really knows that I have been working on trying to figure out what manifestation is, how it works, since 2019. That's when I started to dive into manifestation. That's when I feel like it started to become popular. And I can't lie, I paid for different programs. I did a lot because I'm somebody, when I become hyper fixated on something, I'm just so focused on getting as much as I can. So that's what I did for a while, and I went through so many different struggles with trying to figure it out. And it's I had moments where it would work, and then I had moments where I would feel like I tapped out, or it was just so much. So recently in my life, I feel like I've had to relearn it. And what I mean by relearn it is, I feel like in the beginning in 2020, when I started it, what I learned then wasn't anything substantial. I was learning so much information then, and I was purchasing so many courses, and I was just spending so much money thinking I needed a coach, I need this, I need that. I was just doing way too much, and none of it was producing results, right? But then it's TikTok started to pick up around 2020, so then my timeline on TikTok started to help me a bit, where I ended up finding the money mantra about the good of all and with harm to none, and I did that, and it worked for me, right? I don't know if it was because I also had been doing a meditation program for 4 weeks to work on my mindset, my limitation beliefs that I've always had, and it was just perfect timing when I had found the money mantra video, and then I recited it, and then the money came, that I was just oh my gosh, I figured it out, I got it. I just had to do this meditation and then say this phrase, and then boom, I have the funds, right? And using that method worked for me 2 times back to back. So I was oh, I'm a manifestation pro. Now I'm good. But then life happened, and I went through a lot of hardships, and I was transitioning homes. There was a lot going on in my life, which resulted in me not getting the results from using that mantra that I once did. And I didn't understand what was going on, but whatever. Again, once I reached this new stage of life, right? I dived back into manifestation, because then it appeared on my timeline again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do know that it works because it has worked for me before, but like maybe I need to dive deeper this time to learn more. Maybe I need different videos from different people in order to get a better grasp of it. But I'm not gonna lie, like, it really didn't work for me how it did in 2020. Like, I was struggling with it, right? And then I ended up leaving the country, and now I live in Puerto Rico. So in me being here, I have had to start over again in terms of my life, in terms of my belief. I've had many different experiences, many different lifestyles that I have lived, and I started to learn things. Like, I started to learn how to manifest without using phrases. I learned how to manifest by thinking, right? And I feel like there wasn't videos on that. And I'm not gonna go into that because, like, I'm not a teacher. I could just share, some things that I've done that have produce the results that I want. Like, I did talk about this in another video on my page. I believe that video is called, I don't know. Oh, it's called something about like empath. And it's like me with a colorful shirt on. And in that video, I basically talked about manifestation and how I would calm down. And I didn't know what I was doing then, but now in the future, this version of me knows that your nervous system matters. So what I would do is I would calm down and I would get myself to tap into my own power, right? Because this is my reality. The second that you clicked it on this video, you jumped into my reality. I'm in control here. I'm providing information that I'm hopeful that you are receiving and receptive to, right? And if you are not tuned into my reality, then you won't understand what I'm saying, or you will get what I'm saying and continue listening. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I would calm down. I learned how to calm down, and I learned how to think of what I wanted, right? And in the old video that I uploaded, I basically used a bar example where I was out and I didn't want to pay for drinks. So about an hour earlier than people arrived, I had already set my intentions mentally on what it is that I expected to happen. I literally played out a scenario. I didn't put much effort into it, and then I let it go and everything flowed, and it worked out in my favor the way I wanted it to. Actually better than I thought it would. And I ended up having a great evening, right? So I think with that I just explained, the part that I had forgot about is the calming and being in my power. Because there's been many times where I've been in a situation where I want, let's say I'll go out somewhere and I want to experience something, and I will sit there and I'll start to think of what I want to experience, but then the experience wouldn't happen, and I wouldn't understand why. And the truth is like sometimes I wasn't calm, I wasn't in my power, and I didn't really believe in what it is that I wanted. Like, I didn't believe that I would receive it, and there was just so much out of whack. I wasn't confident in the calmness of me having what it is that I wanted. And I wasn't living in the wish fulfilled. I wasn't at that part. So I literally just watched that girl's video who told me that time doesn't exist. She was like, you can have whatever you want. Like, stop trying to believe that you need to bend over backwards, flip over sideways, and all this stuff. And I'm like, she's so right. Because I literally learned I learned from another YouTuber around 6 months ago. Yeah, I want to say 6 to 8 months ago. I watched this YouTuber who basically affirmed the fact that money just comes to her. She doesn't work. Money just appears to her because she's friends with money. Money loves her. Watching her video did something to me. And I don't mean anything negative. I mean, watching her video invoked the mindset that she had in me. And I ended up repeating what she said. And I felt for real within me that what she said was true. But I felt it for myself. I felt yeah, me too, right? And weird, miraculous, great things happened for me that aligned with what she was saying, which resulted in me learning a new way of manifesting that I never knew existed, right? So in 2020, I start off thinking, oh, I need to meditate and I need these phrases specifically to outline the fact that I don't want to harm anybody and I want this amount of money and it'll come to me however it does. And it worked. Then 2021, that method didn't work for me, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? 2022, I moved to Puerto Rico and I start just manifesting because money wasn't available to me in the period of time when I was first here. So in that predicament, when you do not currently have access to money, what are you exchanging? How are you getting what you want to get, right? I knew that I had a roof over my head, I had food, and everything on that level was taken care of. But if I wanted extra things, like, snacks and just treat myself and stuff like that, I didn't have the funds at that time in order to do those things. So what I started to do is I started to think of people coming to me who would bridge the gap between me and the thing that I wanted. For example, if I wanted to go to the beach, right? Luckily, I could walk to the beach. The beach would be a 30-minute walk, but I would manifest a friend who would come and then they'd be like, oh, I'm going to the beach today. Does anybody want to come with me? And I would be like, oh, I want to go to the beach, And I would be down to walk because that's what I was used to. But then they'd be like, I'm going to call an Uber for us. And that provided the ease for me, right? It bridged the gap that I needed and I wanted. That's how I started, is I started thinking of, okay, people could bridge the gaps for me. Because everything is energy. Everything is energy. So when I got here and I was having my mental shifts with the fact that I'm in a new country, this is a new environment, new weather, I'm going through it, I was like, how am I gonna get whatever I want? Because I still believed that I could. I realized that people would constantly come up to me. I realized that I stood out and people would talk to me frequently. And because of that, I started thinking, if there's so many people talking to me each day, somebody has to want to fulfill the wish that I have within me, right? And I'm not going to spend my time asking every single person to help me fulfill the wish that I have within me, because that's not the way I operate. Sometimes I will ask if we've been talking and we reached that point where it's like, oh, can I help you with anything? Then I'll say something. But otherwise, it was like, I just want this to seamlessly work in my favor so that I receive what it is that I want specific, right? If I want to be taken out to a very nice dinner and not have to pay a dime, I don't want to have to say that to the person. I just want for the day to flow, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want to go to dinner? And it's like, even then I wait for the continuation of, what kind of dinner is it gonna be? Are you inviting me as a guest where you're gonna treat? I'm waiting for the whole scenario to be heard so that I know what I'm signing up for. Because what I also realized too with me manifesting in that way is that I have to listen. Because I used to think that the first person that appeared with something close to my manifestation was the right person, and I had to learn that's not true. There has been times where I wanted to, for example, there have been times where I wanted to manifest, I always want to just manifest random fun things. Let's say I want to manifest some tree, right? Those who know what tree is know what tree is, and if you don't know what tree is, I'm not going to break it down. But yeah, let's say I wanted to manifest some tree, and the first guy come to me and he mentions the word tree, right? I could either A, jump on the gun, or B, sit back and wait till he addresses me and continues to relay more information so that I know if it's for me or not. Because just because somebody mentioned tree doesn't mean that they're my person, right? This person could be like, oh, I have tree on me. And you're like, okay, I want the tree, right? Like, let's say I responded to them and they're like, yeah, but it's gonna cost $40. But I know I don't want to pay for the tree. So I'm looking for the person who is generous and wants to share the tree, right? So let's say person A said that you would have to pay for the tree, and I'm like, oh no, like I want the tree for free. And they're like, I don't do stuff for free. You're like, oh, okay, you're not my person. You let it go. 30 minutes, 40 minutes go by, person B appears. And person B is like sitting, chilling, and then person B pulls out all the contraptions and starts to, you know, mix and match and grind and all the stuff, right? Person B invites me and is like, hey, you want to come with me and we can sit and enjoy this together? I'm like, yes, you are the one for me. You are my wish fulfilled. And within me, that's the wish that I wanted fulfilled. I wanted it to be easy, effortlessly, me to be invited, and for it to be spoken and known that the contract is complete. I want it for free, you're willing to give it for free, and we match. Okay? Now, it is 2024. So since 2022, I've been working with that belief that I could achieve or receive what it is that I want or I need through people, as long as I believe that it's gonna come. I can't pick who the person's gonna be. I just gotta think good things and that a good person is going to stop me, talk to me, want to help me, whatever. But then I got a home. People not just gonna come up to my door, okay? That would be weird, first of all. So now that I'm no longer in the rapid environment that I was, where people were constantly flowing around me, now I've had to learn more about manifestation. I've had to learn, like, okay, people are not around me, like, how am I gonna manifest? Or that's what happens, is I started thinking, like, how am I gonna manifest what I want? Through this journey, I've just been learning from so many different people who have had so much to say, and I finally feel like I finally reached the root, right? And I've heard this, what I heard from the girl today in that video, I heard about it from another woman 6 months ago. But what she was saying is that we are God, right? We are the creators of our reality, so we get to say what goes and what happens. That's her perspective. And I completely agree with her perspective, and yet, for some reason, I struggled to maintain that perspective, which resulted in me reverting back to my limited self. But I just watched a girl's video who said, time doesn't exist, time doesn't make sense, you are everything, you are the wish fulfilled. As long as you believe that you are your wish fulfilled, you believe you have your wish fulfilled, you live in the state of being where your wish is fulfilled, then it will be fulfilled. And everything in my being just felt like, she's so right. She is so freaking right. And it's not just that she said that. She then went on to state that you don't just think about the state of the wish fulfilling, meaning that, let's say you want money. You don't just think about, the point where you receive the money. Think about the point after you receive the money, when you're spending it and getting the things that you want. Think about that you. And right there and there, I'm like, right? Because personally, I sometimes struggle with the vision of the me who has received it. Even though I believe I deserve it and I believe it should come and all that, sometimes the visualization part is something that I struggle with, because in my head I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna come to me. And we're not supposed to know the how, but because I've received from the universe in so many different ways, I have attuned myself to thinking of, is it gonna come by people? Is it gonna come by mail? Is it gonna come by email? I just have all these thoughts of like, but the truth is, even the thoughts of the ways in which it could come are limits. Because it can come, it could come any way. Okay? It could literally just be on the floor at the right time, at the right place, meant for me. Like, I don't know. But the point is, when she said that, I was just like, and she ain't saying nicely neither. I'm so thankful to that girl. She was very much with her attitude, and very much straightforward, and very much like, I can't help you because you are the controller of your reality. You have the power. And now let me get to the point that I really wanted to talk about in this video. When she said that you have the power, I was pulling out the last 3 braids in the back of my head. And I went into the bathroom and I looked at myself in the mirror. And I not only realized her truth, but then I had an epiphany that I wanted to share. And what it was is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be great? Who are you not to be? I don't know. I believe that's by Maya Angelou. I might be wrong. But yeah, that poem, Our Deepest Fear, came in my mind, and I was just like, on this journey, the past almost 5 years, I have been in so many different life experiences. I have learned so many different things about manifestation. I have tried and implemented so many different things. I have spent we're not gonna talk about that part, but the point is, I have invested in learning this thing that has always been here, that I never knew existed until I graduated college. That's like the first time that I ever heard of anything where we can control our reality and all of this. And I've expanded so freaking much. So freaking much. And although I have fought so many different levels of fear, and I continue to fight them, right? Because we're human, and you have moments of just feeling your feelings, right? And they're not always the best feelings because of whatever has happened, which is tied to fear. And when she basically said, like, if you don't believe you're powerful, I don't know what to tell you, I was like, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And that just clicked in me, the fact that I don't really know how powerful I am. I know that I've been through a lot. I know that I have a beautiful mind, and I'm a creative person. I'm a resourceful person. I am worthy of greatness, right? But if you were to ask me what that greatness is that I believe I'm worthy of, I couldn't even tell you a number, right? On a financial scale, I have no idea. I don't know how much I could exchange what's up in here and what I create for monetary value. I don't know how many lives I will touch and help, and I really don't know. I don't know. Something that has happened with me journaling is I feel like I'm able to clear space in my mind, which results in me having space to receive new information. Not saying that, you know, I'm unable to receive new information without journaling. I just feel like I'm able to actually hear more clearly because I'm not ruminating in my mind. I've already written down pages where I have dumped whatever gunk I had in me and I squeezed out what I could. So now I can absorb something new. And last week, the message that came to me in the weirdest ways, and when I say the weirdest ways, I literally mean the weirdest ways. I mean, I went on a walk to the grocery store, and on my way back from the grocery store, I ran into a man on his bicycle, and he's a kind gentleman that I meet randomly, like every 2 months I'll run into him. And he'll always smile when he sees me, and he'll be like, "Hey, how are you?" Da da da. And he speaks Spanish, so it's like he's speaking Spanish when he talks to me. But for some reason, he was talking to me, and we were having a regular conversation about, like, you know, if I'm going to school and whatever. And he was like, he looked at me for a long period of time, and he said, "Don't give up," in English. And I looked at him sideways because I was like, this is so like left field. Like, you don't know what's going on in my life. Like, I didn't let on, or I did my best to mask and pretend like everything is great. And I pretended, you know, I presented my best self, which I tend to do. And nobody's able to like look behind my mask or like, you know, get under the surface unless you are a deep person and you know, you just are able to reach that level. And he was just like, "Don't give up." And I took that and I was like, oh my gosh, this man, he's telling me the truth, because I did want to give up. I was fighting with so many thoughts in my head of, I've been getting frustrated where it's like, oh, I no longer want all the stuff that I've set out, I've always wanted, or why hasn't it come, or, you know, like, what is manifestation, and what is going on, and do I have to change my routine and get back outside and be around people when I don't want to be around people, but that was the way that I would receive. And I was just having so many thoughts. But then I came home, and the next day a video popped up on my timeline of this man, this bald-headed man who I believe has passed. Before he left this reality, he had created YouTube videos, and the video that popped up on my timeline said, what do you guys guess? Don't give up, or never give up. And I listened to his video, I think it no more than 10 minutes, his video, where he basically talked about his like the briefing of his life, and how if he had given up at any point in his life, he never would have knew how great things would become for him, because he had so many hardships where he did want to give up. And he was just like, he was just telling the younger generation to not give up, to like see it through, to live. Seeing his video just like reminded me of the simplicity of creating videos, and the fact that regardless of how I feel sometimes, that the plan is bigger than me, and that the only way for me to experience what it is that I want is to see it through and to never give up. So I have had thoughts recently of wanting to post daily, to share daily, to just show up for myself, because that's what I want to do, right? And once I decide to do whatever it is that I want to do, I'm gonna do it. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one who's gonna edit this video. I'm the one who's watching this video. This message, like I stated in the beginning, is a message to me. And the message is, you are powerful. I am powerful. I don't need to know how powerful I am. I just need to know that I'm powerful. I need to reaffirm my power. And I need to believe that anything I want, I can have. Simply because I said so. You know? And not just because I said so, but because I'm willing to work for it. I'm willing to have it. And now I know in my mind that I can think past the version of me that has it. Because I used to struggle, and I still do sometimes. I struggle with holding the picture of the visualization that it is that I want. I am able to hold beyond it. This episode 1. I hope that you guys found something in this helpful. Honestly, I'm so hot. My hair is so dusty. I had to turn my fan off in order to make this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see whoever I see in my next video.